Sidon?
Muktarok. Oh, is
That's
it
me.
Sidon? Oh. I think
What-
Sidon is more handsome
me.
than that.
Oh,
We're here.
yeah.
We're here to tear. You know
We're
what it
here
is.
to tear, baby.
Here to tear.
Tearing it up.
Gooey.
Dang
McKenna.
right.
Corey.
There you go.
Nico.
You had a 50% chance.
What's up? Tears of the Kingdom. We haven't done it in a minute, and we're excited to be back. We promised we would do more Tears of the Kingdom tiers.
Tears.
And we're
Bring it
here.
on, tears.
We're providing. So
Oh yeah, baby.
what's on the docket today? We are doing the Overworld bosses, which we said we would do after we did the bosses of the game.
So recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
So we're kind of gonna be, well, you'll see. We're gonna group some together, like the different types or the different elemental stuff, and we'll discuss that as we talk about it. But otherwise, I think it's pretty straightforward, right? So
Oh yeah.
shall we? What do we do? Do we? Oh, goddess glue.
We goddess glue.
Time to
We
goddess
fuse.
glue.
Let's together.
Time to glue?
I hate
Yeah,
this.
let's
It's
let's
totem
do it.
time. I'm sorry. It's
do
always going to
it.
be totem time in my head. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna totem time anyways. Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, Corey,
We did
would you
it.
do the honors of explaining the tiers we have here?
I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. This is just regular S through D. S,
Okay.
sick, nasty boss. A, geez, what a great boss. B, that's a big bad boy. C, chill boss. And D, I don't give a hoot about this boss.
Okay, I think that sums it up rather nicely. I'll go ahead and start first. We're starting the top box, and I'll just get us right into it. I want to do just
Oh, where's my mouse? There we go.
starting off basic here. One we're bringing back from the last game, which is the Hinox. I start with the first guy there. I'm happy with him. You know, I like this boss. I liked in Breath of the Wild, and I'm glad to see it come back. They're fun to fight. They've got great music. But you know, obviously in Tears of the Kingdom, I'm a little more excited about the other bosses, but still I
True.
enjoy fighting this boss.
They're
So
pretty fun.
I will propose, and then you can all add on and discuss. But I'm just going to propose, not that it's bad, but I'm like, this is a chill boss. See, I enjoy it. I like hanging out with it. But obviously, there's some new hotness in Tears of the Kingdom that I'm into. So
Yeah, that's
what
pretty
do y'all
fair.
think?
I like hanging with a Hinox, you know?
Yeah. McKenna, what do you think about Hinox?
They're cool. I feel like, yeah, I do feel like I enjoy them more in Breath of the Wild, especially some of the side stuff and bonus content you can get with them. You've got like the Three Brothers
Got a little story.
quest where in my playthroughs I kill the older brother and the younger brother, but not the middle because of middle child solidarity.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's the Stalnox that's in Hyrule Castle that is just classic. Like
Now we do
it-
need to
that-
say Stalnox is separate on our
Stalnox is
list.
different.
Oh, it is okay.
Yeah, we got it
Stalnox is
different.
separated. We do love that Stalnox in Hyrule
Okay,
Castle, but it is
gotcha.
separate on this list.
It's separate.
That is kind of an
Um,
elemental form in a way, though.
It
It's
kind
kind
of
of it's
'cause you have
kind
to
of weird because
you have a different way to fight them.
Different,
Is
The
the
fleshling.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the main thing.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh, there's the one in the dark
thinking of
in the
ways
ruins. That's
to-
really fun.
Oh, I guess.
There's the Eventide Island one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty cool.
Mhm. I did also enjoy using that. It's more a Breath of the Wild, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could defeat one with only using my Master Cycle 0, just running into it, and I
How'd that work?
almost did it,
Ugh.
But
no.
I wish I
at
could
the
have seen
end
this.
of the battle, I ran into a rock, and Link went flying off the Master Cycle Zero, and
Oh
it
my
instantly
God.
died. So, where are your
So it wasn't
kids?
even the Hinox; it was just road hazards that hindered your battle.
Yeah.
You know, I one time in Tears of the Kingdom, a blood moon was about to start, and I had like killed a Hinox not too long ago, and I was like, I wonder if I could try something. So I got a really good spear. I fused like a diamond or something on it, right? And I did a really like long charged attack. My stamina was completely full, and I held it there, and it was about to run out, and then the blood moon cutscene started, and the blood moon cutscene played, and as it came back in, Link was already going like cha 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 cha, and the Hinox was still sleeping. It reappeared, it was sleeping, and I
Oh
was
my
stabbing
gosh.
it, and it stands up and then dies. And I was like, yeah, I did it. They're
That's
really
sweet.
fun. They're fun to kind of mess around with, especially in Tears of the Kingdom when you feel even more overpowered. But yeah, I would definitely say they're chill. I think they're chill.
Everyone
I
likes
think
chill.
chill's a pretty
Yeah,
good
they're
spot.
chill.
They are because they are big bad boys, but
I do like B too, but I think C is a good. They're chill. They're chill guys. I like that you have the option of doing what Nico just said, where you could just run up and just absolutely destroy them if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
strong enough, or you could do because they all have like a lot of them have the necklaces with like weapons and stuff
Love that.
hanging, so you could just try and like jump on their bellies and steal their stuff and run away.
love
Mhm.
They
classic.
have
And
a
like the eyes, a
surprising
big
amount of
old weak spot.
personality for an overworld boss, which I love that.
Some of them have like the little leg guards, like the wooden leg guards that you
Yeah.
can burn, and
Oh, that's annoying. I hate that.
Mhm.
Get rid of that.
I always love to see him like in the grand scheme of things. I would put him higher, just in like the grand Zelda scheme of things. Like
Sure.
they're such a classic enemy that
Hinoxes
doesn't
are
always come around. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I'm glad we have them in these games.
there's nothing like cresting a hill in one of these two games, and you just see a big old sleeping Hinox in the clearing up ahead, and you're like, oh boy.
You wanna pick
Yeah.
an enemy?
Oh, yeah. What? Who do I want to?
You can't see everything, but
There's only
we'll
one
get
cutoff, and you don't
There's
want to
one
do them
off.
yet.
There's one cut off. Yeah.
you don't want to do it.
Let's do the Froxx.
Froxx.
New guy.
Everybody.
What do you think about the Froxx?
What are your
Where
thoughts
would you
on Froxx?
New
Uh,
overworld boss, underworld
yeah.
boss rather.
Yeah, technically
Underworld.
we shouldn't have
these
this.
are
It's an
like
underworld boss.
a Depths exclusive.
One night only.
Exclusive.
Yeah, I really like the first time I saw one of these guys, and I was just like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
And then it saw me and just immediately tried to start sucking me in, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I think I ran away
They're
from
like
it that first time.
they're
But
almost like a Dodongo mixed with a Hinox.
right, because you can kind of choose how you want to fight it, or you can combine. You can throw a bomb in its mouth, or you can just go for the eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeball. And then it's also kind of like a Talis, because you get up on it and
That's
start
true. That's
attacking
true.
its what is it called? The Zone Knight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the ore deposit, whatever.
Yeah.
That is
just
cool.
laying on that, and then eventually it'll like buck you off, and you go flying.
Then you just do bullet time and shoot it in the eye and do it all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun.
It's fun. These guys are scary in the dark. Very
Yeah.
scary if you can't see them.
There's also one specific hole that you can go down into, one of the chasms, where there is one waiting literally right at the base of it. Like, if you're going down the middle of the chasm, you will land on top of it. And if you're just gliding down and it's like all dark, and you get it mad, like, because you're like shooting, bright blooms to try and light up the area, it will just have its mouth open facing up at you, and it'll just swallow you as you go down into the chasm. And it's like,
That's pretty
oh,
funny.
welcome to the depths.
Welcome
That's
to the
so
depths.
awesome.
I'm a Froxx.
They're creative. They're so silly.
The
They don't
Froxes
have-
have like different not different
They
like
have
elemental
harder
ones.
versions, but they're not elemental.
Yeah. Blue
They do have-
Froxes.
all of the
White
bosses,
Froxes.
right? At some point, have like a gloom form,
The
right?
gloom version. I feel
so
like
we're-
they might. I'm not
Is there a
positive, but I
Gloom
feel like they
Froxx?
might.
I feel like
is
there's
there? I
gotta
don't
be.
know.
Mhm.
There is for some of the other ones, right?
Quick Google
Yeah.
search.
There definitely is.
I'm also though like starting like for some of them, I'm like, there's like Ice Hinox, right? But I'm thinking of like Hyrule Warriors,
Hyrule Warriors, yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever those like crazy ones are called in that. But where would you
What do-
place it?
This is
I got it placed.
you got a placement.
But
They're not like my favorite, but gee, I'm trying to think. I guess I need to think of them in comparison to the other old world. Overworld. They are a new one.
They're new.
Like
They're
completely new. Like this
What?
is not a recreation of an old enemy. This is a brand new enemy type, which was cool.
Yeah.
Something we wanted from Tears
Well,
of the Kingdom.
They had the little baby Froxes that scurry around and eat
I like
lights.
the little baby ones. It's a nice kind of
That's a good touch.
story.
Kind of hated killing the baby frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated those things. They ate up my bright bloom seeds. I would smack
Yeah.
the crap out of those things.
Ooh, that is a
It's a
good
nice little lore, you know.
good lore.
Yeah.
No, going around A or B.
I would vote
A or B.
because I think there's other new ones that are much better still.
I do think
Mhm.
that, yeah.
So I think for me, it is the definition of a big bad boy. So I would go B.
I would agree.
Okay. I'm cool with B too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was also I
fair?
don't know if I really like these better than Hinox's that much, maybe a little bit. But I was hovering around B or C either way, but it sounds like B is the spot because this is a big bad boy.
He is
Yeah, I
big
think
and bad.
like again, maybe
Big
in the
and bad.
grand scheme of things, they're probably like the Hinox more in the series, but just in this
Mhm.
game, it being new and fresh and
Yeah.
like it's still really good. Like I think just the newness gives it the edge for me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe that'll fade with time. Corey, what do you want to pick?
Because we already talked about it, let's just put the Stalnox up there. And I want to get your opinions first. Nico, what do you think of the Stalnox?
I really don't like Stalnoxes, if I'm being honest. I never really enjoyed fighting them because it always kind of annoyed me. Like I'd hit the eye over, it would be like on a sliver of health, and I'd hit it over and over and over and over, and it wouldn't die. Then they'd take the eye
Mhm.
back, and then I'd have to hit it off again. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I'd rather just fight a normal Hinox, honestly.
Mhm.
They're interesting. I was like, cool, Stal enemies. But that's about all I got out of it.
Yeah, the Stal enemies are cool, especially when it's like the Stal Bokoblins and the Stal Moblins and those guys. And I don't know. That's why I kind of want to gauge what y'all think because I think they're really cool, but I also kind of agree they're a pain. I feel like I would fight them once and just be like, "All right, I've had enough, I think." Cuz they are kind of a pain.
They don't bother me too much. Like they're not my most favorite to fight. Probably similar in that regard to a Hinox. I do like that I thing. Like I think it's funny,
With a
but
little
I can
sound
see how that
effect.
could be a pain.
It's funny. It's
I
silly.
do like
yeah.
it. Oh, you know what I love though? I do love that they'll break off a rib and like
Mhm.
swing it at you and stuff.
That is creative.
That's
sick.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's really
I
cool.
do like using recall on it when they throw it at you. It just goes back and bonks them.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea. I don't think
You
I
know,
ever
hit
did that.
them
That's
with their
silly.
own attack. Yeah. I think I did that more.
man.
Yeah, I definitely in Tears of the Kingdom, if I had a Stalnox or Hinox throw something at me, a lot of times I would use recall on it and just have it hit hit it
It's
back.
pretty OP.
That's smart.
They also have a couple enemies have this. I think you talked about getting surprised by the Froxx, but they have that sort of like fun surprise moment where you don't realize it's there and then you're walking and it starts to form together. I always love that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
There's that section in the cave leading up to the castle where you like can break a bunch of rocks, and there's one inside of this big pile of rocks. That was cool. But then I'm like,
you have to
it's a
find it
Stalnox.
underground. Like, that was a big moment.
It was
for
like
me.
an excavation.
I think for me, it'd be personally good enough to bump it above a Hinox, but if we maybe some
Hinox.
conflicting ideas.
My proposal is I think it belongs with the Hinox in C. It's still pretty chill to me, I think. That's where I would personally put it.
I'm fine with that.
I think it's chill.
Yeah.
I like it less
Chill,
than a
like-
Hinox. I'd prefer to fight like a normal Hinox, but I still
You
think
like
be
it less than a
lower
Hinox.
C.
Goo likes it more than a Hinox.
I think it
I'm back and
balances out.
forth, depending on the day.
We'll be fair and balanced.
boing,
Oh, look
boing.
at that jumper out. Whoa.
Did you know that
Sweet.
they're notorious jumpers?
See, if they were jumping all around the battlefield, that'd be something else.
Straight
Now
up to
we're
S,
talking.
man. If they were jumping around
Yeah.
like that.
The little ground pound.
Oh my gosh.
Nico. It's Nico's turn.
Well, I would like to chat a little bit about the regular Talis. Now, this Talis encompasses the elemental Talis as well.
Yeah.
We have the battle Talis
Talis,
that's
Igneo
separate.
Talis, and Frost Talis, I think.
Yes.
Is there Gloom Talis?
Is there?
There definitely are Gloom Talis.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes, there
Nope.
are.
Gloom.
Yeah, in the depths there for sure are.
So, I think from Breath of the Wild, these guys were my favorite overworld bosses. I love their music. I love the different crystal placements where sometimes it's like, oh, I gotta do like, bomb arrows on these guys because it's on their back, or like you can get on top and you smash them with a hammer, or like they'll throw their arms at you, and they like smash their head into the ground. They're kind of silly, they're clunky, but they're some of my favorite overworld bosses from Breath of the Wild. I still think the creativity from that was kept for Tears of the Kingdom. And they kind of expanded on them with the Battle Talis. But I really love the Talis, personally. I think they're fun to fight. I never pass, like when I see I hear the music and I see the like Talis thing pop up. I'm always like, oh, where is it? Like I gotta fight it. And then you get loot. You always get lots of good loot from these guys.
Oh yeah,
which I appreciate.
That's true.
The elemental thing does change the fight up for them. Like
Big
it
time.
does for every enemy, but the fact that it's like, oh, I can't crawl on this. Like I need to get rid of the ice or the fire or whatever.
Or you can use
it is.
armor to bypass that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Very
kind of fun. I like that a lot. But what are y'all's
I think
thoughts?
I'm gonna have to be the Debbie Downer on this one then.
Well, I will turn off
'Cause,
your
like-
video.
Well, so I don't disagree with any of the stuff you guys are saying, but especially like in the first few hours of Breath of the Wild, I agree. But after a while, I'm kind of just like, all right, another Talis. It becomes very like they almost don't even feel like a boss at a certain point to me. They kind of just feel like another enemy in the overworld. And I agree. It's cool that like the frost ones and the flame ones, you have to like. It's an extra.
You got a friend.
It'd be funny if like that wasn't my cat.
You're like, I don't even have a cat.
I love
heck
it.
is
It's
that?
so-
Just
Hey.
posing back there.
Aw.
She looks cool back there.
It does look
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
Anyways, like the frost and the flame talises, like I agree that it adds like a little layer or whatever, but you have to like it's basically just shooting an elemental arrow once and then it goes away and then you can climb and treat it like a regular talus. I don't know. I feel like it's when it's harder, it's more fun, But by the end, I don't really give a hoot about Talises because you can just spam them with bomb arrows, or you can just hop up on them and use any
You
sledgehammer or
think
something.
Talis is the worst of this list?
I think
You're
so.
saying don't give a hoot?
I'm saying I don't
McKenna?
really
I
give a hoot
haven't, yeah, I
about
haven't said
Talises.
anything yet.
All right, McKenna, what are your thoughts?
I do really like fighting Talises.
Yeah, take that.
And
I think they're cool.
they do have some great loot in both games. They're probably the most sought out enemy or boss for me to just go battle for some loot. And I the Talis hearts are one of my favorite
Yes, I
things
forgot
to
about the hearts.
fuse.
I also
So
forgot
I
about
feel like
the hearts are
that
very cool.
alone like boosts them up.
With the luminous
Okay.
stone too, especially, they look so
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
That
I
is
saw
true.
those in my my house.
That is true.
I have them on display.
They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, given their crafting potential, really good stuff. I would have thrown this in Big Bad Boy once again because I agree with all the reasons they're great, but again, there's just newer, more exciting things in the game.
Totally.
Corey's saying don't give a hoot.
Witches.
Well, okay. I think Talises are very cool, and I don't disagree with anything that you all have said, but it's more just like they're so common, and after you get any amount of power in the game, they become not fun to fight anymore. But I agree, there's like you always get cool stuff, and I love the music and I like the different variations, but when I'm like a dozen hours into the game and I see a Talis, I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm ready to fight this Talis. You know what I mean?
You know,
Which like,
some of us are just built different, I guess.
like yeah, all right,
Oh,
that's fair, I guess.
Jeez Louise. Well,
I
okay.
can see
let's
what
see
you
where
mean,
everyone
but
wants to place it. Let's see. I was thinking between A or B. But
Well, you all talked me up, so I think personally I would say C, but now I don't know what I would put in D.
okay.
I'm gonna go for a Big Bad Boy.
you'd say B. And Gooey, you said B.
I think so. It is a big bad boy.
He is a big bad boy.
I can see what you mean,
Cool with
Corey.
that.
Like,
I'm cool with that.
and it's I feel like everyone can kind of agree with this. It's like it becomes a little bit routine fighting it, but some of
Sure.
us just sort of like doing that. Like I always am happy. I love just the whole loop of shooting it, climbing on it, trying to get as many hits as I can before it freaks out or like reflames or whatever. I always find that satisfying. So
You know what
I don't know.
too is like a lot of the bosses on this list, even the ones that we've ranked so far, do all kind of get like that in this game. Where after you fought a few of them, you fought all of them pretty much.
Yeah.
So
At least this one you get some
I
really
guess
cool
that's
loot.
not a. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Are we saying B is a fair spot for Talis?
Feels
Talis
like a good
and
middle
friends?
ground.
Sure,
It's so big.
That looks
cool
so
with
funny.
I'm cool with that.
Okay, it's back around to me.
Yeah.
What's down there still? What was that one
Oh,
thing?
sorry. It
What
was
the-
Phantom
what the hell-
Ganon.
Oh, what the hell is that thing next to him? What is that?
Is that a Molduga?
It's Molduga.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
Molduga.
When it's jumping
was
up
like
out
a-
of the Molduga.
It's
I thought it was like a fish.
Molduga.
Okay, I'm thinking Molduga, and I'm thinking like it's cool. But I'm least excited to see this one back. Not that I have anything against it, and I think D for Duga because
Oh man.
You know what my thoughts are on Molduga? I
Talk me
thought
up.
they were
Change my mind.
amazing in Breath of the Wild, and then they just did nothing to them in Tears of the Kingdom to make them more interesting to me.
Yeah, where's my battle Duga?
In fact, I think it's worse because I don't have remote bombs.
Maybe
I don't know.
some of your stuff you can throw.
Yeah, you can feed them.
I never
You can feed
tried it.
them. I definitely
Well, you
thought
could
them.
now you have like the Zonai devices where you can like have something going along,
Yeah.
the sand and distract it.
Yeah. I want to experiment a
If
little
I'm
with
being
it.
honest, I don't think I fought many Moldugas in Tears of the
I think
Kingdom.
I fought like one or there's like one that you
Well, there's only
do
like
for a side
4,
quest.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it
don't know.
definitely
I
didn't get
think
it didn't get old. I'll say that
you
because
know, it's fun. I always love the feeling when you're just walking along the sand and suddenly like the music starts up and you're like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. I gotta find
dun,
higher ground. But
Yeah.
like but the actual fighting them is like not something I enjoy as much, I think.
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
well, what's your
I'm
problem,
kind of
Corey?
I'm kind of the opposite of you guys again. I think Moldugas are far and away the most exciting out of any of the ones we've talked so far. Just because of that aspect of like you're walking along in the desert, right? Nothing on the horizon. All of a sudden, some music starts popping up, and you see a bump in the sand off in the distance, and you see a health bar pop up, and you're like, "Oh no! Oh God! I need to move! I need to get out of here now!" And it's like you're
Hmm.
I think that's so cool because it's like fighting a shark in the water. It's not the same as like a Talis where you feel like you are climbing all over that bad boy and it can do nothing about you. You're like a spider monkey climbing all over its back. And when you're fighting a Molduga, it's like you're in its territory. You have to find a safe spot and you have to be tricky to get it out of there and then exploit when it's not beating the crap out of
True.
you,
That is true.
That's why I think it's good that there aren't a ton of Molduga because that takes away the novelty of it.
She about to slay a Lynel.
Yeah. She's about to attack a Lionel right now.
Yeah, I guess I can't even say that I just don't even have a moment where I can remember fighting one. If that like maybe I didn't even encounter one, but I feel like I went all over the map. Like
I do like that they're like
I probably
specific
did.
to the Gerudo area.
That is
Yeah.
it's cool.
I think that's cool.
But I agree that I didn't have as much fun fighting them in Tears as in Breath of the
Lynel
Wild.
down.
She just knocked down the Lionel.
She's in the spirit of this video.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
see
what
her-
we're talking about.
when are we
Oh.
talking about the Lynel?
Aw.
She's giving us an example of how to fight the bosses.
She's kind of the star of the show. I feel like
I
we've
guess
all
so.
been demoted. Aw.
This is her show now. Well, okay. So
I'm kind of.
we can all agree we enjoy a Molduga.
I like.
We all enjoy Molduga.
I enjoy him.
I think in reference to Tears of the Kingdom, I just don't give a hoot, if I'm being honest. There's so many other cool overworld bosses. I fought a million of these over and over in Breath of the Wild. And then I think I beat like 2 of them in Tears of the Kingdom and was like, I don't see a purpose to these. Also, I don't like hanging out in the sand, if I'm being honest, so I just don't. Unless I really like am looking for
because you're out of your element.
yellow Lizalfo's tails or something.
Yeah, I'd give it D for don't remember if I fought one or not for sure.
They should have made like
pretty-
a outrun
These
the
are wild,
Molduga
folks.
like side quest race kind of thing.
I've been tight, yeah. On a sand
You
sail?
definitely
Yeah.
You definitely didn't fight a million in either of these games because there are 4 in each. And then Moldu
I mean,
King
the Blood Moon
and Breath of the
happened.
Wild. Yeah, but compared to the amount of Talises in these games,
Yeah.
there's a bajillion.
I fought a lot of them in Age of Calamity, and that was a good.
Oh
time.
yeah.
I like fighting them in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say in Age of Calamity, I enjoyed fighting the Molduga more than the Talis. I didn't really like fighting Talises in Age of Calamity. But this is about Tears of the
Yeah,
This is
hold
about Tears
on.
of the Kingdom.
Hold on, switch over to the Age of Calamity.
Yeah, get that.
Okay, yeah.
Tier list
Let me pull that one up really quick.
We're doing both at the same time, actually. Well, Corey, where do you want to put it?
He wants to
I
put it up in
mean-
freaking S.
No, I don't
You
want to
can't
put
say
an
S.
S, but like I probably would have said on my own, I probably would have said B.
McKenna.
But seems like I don't know what's going in D then.
Do we have?
We don't
to
need
put
to have
something
anything in
We,
D.
we might not
We
need to.
don't. It's possible we give a hoot about all these bosses, but
I
That's
pretty
fair.
much do.
I do
yeah.
give a hoot about all of them.
Would you put it in D?
D?
Yeah,
No, I said
okay.
I do give a hoot
Oh,
about
okay.
all of them.
D for do give a hoot.
D for do give a hoot.
I guess
B for boy, I give a hoot about Molduga.
Let me do this.
Okay.
okay. So can we agree on C then?
We give a hoot about these bosses.
Gosh, I don't know. I'd probably give it a higher ranking in Breath of the Wild than Tears. So, I'm gonna go with C.
All right. I feel like it's gotta go in C. High C.
It's fine, I suppose. I mean, it's the least chill boss on this list so far, but sure.
That's fair. It is the least chill.
I do agree with your points, Corey, if that makes sense though. Like I do appreciate them, but it's like I don't think I even really encountered them. So
Man.
sorry. McKenna, we've got like a bunch of heaters left, I feel like. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's fill up this top of the list.
Okay. Let's go. Phantom Ganon. All right. I love this dude.
Same.
This is a really well done overworld boss, I think. You first encounter the gloom spawn, and it's like the most terrifying thing you've ever seen, and you're just like sprinting away from it. They're so fast, and you're like,
Yeah.
I can't
Horrifying.
kill this guy.
I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, we're all like, are these guys killable? How, like, they keep coming back up, and then eventually you get to a point where you figure it out, you kill it, and you think it's
Well,
dead,
You're like,
Not even that.
but it's not.
Well,
It's not dead.
before that moment too, I don't know, everyone probably interacted differently, but a lot of people were telling me, "Oh, you haven't killed one of those yet?" And I was like, "No, why?" And they're like, just do it next time you see one. And that's when I was like, "All right, I'll try to kill it." And so like there was, for me, it had that classic like someone being like, "Oh, there's like a big cool
Yeah.
thing." Like it got me excited, and like it was mysterious. It's like one of the top moments in the game for me, just based on like that sort of feeling. But then
You get the Phantom Ganon reveal, and you're like, oh my god. And he's like slower, but he's still pretty powerful and scary. And
I mean, fighting him is fun too.
Fighting him is a lot of fun, and it kind of gets you used to his battle style.
How to deal with
preparing you
gloom
for
a little
later.
bit.
Yes, how to deal with gloom as well. And nice gloom focused overworld boss. And then on repeat encounters, he'll use different weapons, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sweet that you can get the
It
different weapons
confused me
out
at
of him.
first. I was like, wait, how come this is a new weapon for me?
He had a sword before.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
My favorite statue that I have in Terrytown, my little museum thing, is one of him shooting. He's posed. He's got his bow like shooting at me. It looks so cool.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then he drops the
Dark clumps.
Dark clumps, yes. Which you can use to make stuff like monster extract,
And
and
they
it's
pulsate.
it's like blue
It's
and
gross.
black, like the previous iterations of Phantom Ganon are.
Mm-hmm.
True, yeah.
It gives off like Wind
Sneak.
Waker and
Disney.
like Four Swords Adventure, like
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Ganon
Did
vibes,
we-
which I love.
A little
It
nod.
does.
Yeah.
We ranked the Phantom Ganon in the bosses tier list too, right?
Yes.
We
Yeah,
do.
it's just like a separate.
But that was specifically
yeah,
that
specifically
bad.
the boss.
Separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is sort of a precursor to that. It feels
Yeah.
like it's a little bit of a he creeps into the
Yes.
main game a little bit, but where would you rank it?
S tier.
Same. I'm putting S for same.
I'm putting
S for
S for
same.
SpongeBob. And same.
This is like a highlight
Yeah.
of the whole game for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Dude,
I
we could do
agree.
S.
It was that like playground moment of like I discovered it for myself, and then I was watching my friend play for her first time, and I saw her like start to attempt to actually fight some Gloomspawn, and I was like, yes, she's gonna figure it out. And it's like she got so close and she didn't kill the Gloomspawn. I was like, no. And then it was like days later when she finally did, and she was so happy. She put the controller down. She was like, yes, I finally killed them. And then the health bar comes up and she's like, what? And like that moment
That's
is
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's just like there's nothing like it, and it really is superior. Sick nasty boss, Phantom Ganon.
I agree.
I don't
remember when
know.
my first encounter with it was in one of the caves. Like it wasn't one of the it was in
Mhm.
one of the like
Yes.
the hillside caves or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the hands, the gloom spawn, and them freaking me out, and I didn't even try and fight them. I ran away and got up on a ledge, and then immediately I was like, "Can you kill these things?" And I looked up how to kill them, and one of the things was like, "Oh, one of the good ways is bomb flowers." And then like literally for the rest of the game, I was like, "That's an effective way to kill them. I'm not even gonna try and slash them. I am always gonna get so far away and just spam them with bomb flowers because I
It
don't want to
works.
touch them." But when I killed them for the first time and I saw Phantom Ganon, I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" My
What do I
heart
do?
was pumping. Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
think
it
it's
was
a
intense.
universal experience for everyone that's played
Yeah.
this game, and I think that says a lot about it.
Excellent touch.
Boing,
Excellent
boing,
touch.
boing, 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 boing.
I also just want to give a mention to the one that's in the Great Deku Tree
Yeah.
that you have
Oh,
to kill to heal it. Really
Oh.
like
Yes.
that.
I think that was
little
literally one of the
touch.
last ones I fought, and I kind of wish it was one of the first ones I fought because that's
Yeah.
placed so perfectly.
that's really cool.
Mhm.
That's a nice little throwback.
That's great. Corey, I think you're up to pick another one.
Let's go. Let's do the battle Talis.
Ooh.
Nice.
Little battle Talises.
What are you gonna be anti-Talis again?
Maybe I should. No.
Revenge.
These guys fix what makes regular Talises boring, which is that they are just inherently more diverse because they literally have a camp of enemies on their back, and they still have the gems in different spots, so it's
Mhm.
not just like a given. But I like that you come face to face with these guys, and there's always bokoblins, which still scale. The levels still scale based on how far you are in the game, so that immediately like makes them like you can't just you can, but when you're faced with one of these guys, you have several options. You're like, all right, do I try and get up and fight all the enemies first and then take out the Talus, or do I try and ignore the enemies and just fight the Talus, or do I try and just knock off the enemies and then fight the Talus?
Oh,
And that's
you
what
can
I
do it
that's what
my
I
way.
like about these guys.
I take
What's
one
your
of
way?
the little flowers. What are they
The little
called?
muddy
Muddle Bloods?
something.
Muddle Buds. I throw one of those bad boys, and he flings all of the bokoblins off, which I love. And then
Yeah,
they
that's
start
awesome.
fighting, and it's like my favorite thing ever. I love it.
That's pretty awesome.
It's so
I like
silly.
on some you can like ascend up onto the platform
Yes.
and just fight them. You know, that's always fun.
You can ascend through normal Talus too, which is a little weird.
Yeah, which makes them even easier than in Breath of the Wild. But
It's true. It is kind of funny. But no, I do
It's
do
very
love that.
satisfying to do.
Do you guys remember
Uh,
seeing this guy in the trailer and just being
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
what?
There's an entire colony on
I
them.
feel like the Talis let them do that. They're teaming up.
Yeah, it was.
That's
It's
yeah, that's
silly.
really cool. That's a really
Very
fun little
creative change
evolution.
to a boss.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. And I like we didn't I ended up not even like suggesting we put them on, but Tears of the Kingdom especially, like Breath of the Wild had the enemy camps or whatever, but Tears of the Kingdom has it where it's like an entire group of enemies that are like occupying
Mhm.
Lurelin Village, or like the
Oh,
boss
totally.
ones that have a bunch of them,
Yeah.
or the camps have like an entire health bar.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the whole battle is treated as one. I really
Mhm.
like those in general, and like the battle talises feel almost like one of those
They give that
plus a
vibe. Yeah.
talus. Yeah,
Do you wanna what Corey, what would your ranking be, your placement?
I would say, geez, what a great boss.
I'd say the
That's
same.
what I would say too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. You guys are making
Wow.
my job so easy. He goes boing, boing, boing.
It's a great boss.
That's fantastic.
Nico, all right.
Before I pick Gooey and McKenna, your mics have started to sputter a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys want to like disconnect them and reconnect them or something?
Sputter.
Yeah, or here, can I drop out of the call and
Sure, whatever you think might work.
try that first?
Sputter.
Hello.
Hello, how do we sound?
Not sputtery anymore, I don't think. Keep talking.
Okay, now I'm talking
Continuing to talk.
and I'm here. Are we
How
sputtering?
do we sound?
Do we sputter?
Nope, no sputter.
It's
I
no
don't know why it does
sputter.
that sometimes.
Okay,
I think
let me
Discord
know
just
if
gets
it happens
tired.
again.
No, it was
It's
just right at the
tired.
end of y'all
Poor
chatting about
guy
that one.
needs a nap.
Discord's had a long day.
Oh,
I have to.
Yeah.
poor little thing. But okay, I will pick. Okay. I'm gonna pick this one because it's one of my personal favorites that I would put an S, but I want to talk about it a lot. And that is the Flux Construct. I would say these guys are quite possibly the most creative overworld boss Nintendo has made in a very long time. They are super silly. The music is really fun, and battling them is like a sandbox. You can do a million different things to approach a battle with them. And it was a really fun take on the construct idea. We saw them in like a trailer, and I remember thinking like, what is this? It doesn't look, it's just a bunch of boxes. Like, okay. But then after fighting my first one, which I definitely attempted the first one on the Great Sky Island, and that did not go well. And I gave up, and I came back up into the sky later. And it is worth noting that these guys are only in the sky. There's not any in the depths, right?
There are in the depths.
They are in the depths? Okay.
Oh wow.
So yeah, when you what are those, like the maze? You know, the where it's like the sky maze, the surface maze, and then in the depths there's another one. You fight some in the depths.
Labyrinth.
Oh,
in
yes,
those
you
areas.
do.
Yeah, the
That's right.
labyrinths,
That's right. But yes, they're not like Overworld and Hyrule Field or whatever, but they're in very unique locations. And it's fun. The ones in the sky you can approach with like big Zonai devices, which is really fun. You can go like flying in. And a lot of times they're like pre-made and like kind of set for you, and it's like you can try fighting this dude and like a flying machine or whatever. But there's just so many different ways to approach it. It's got like the one box that has the health, and then everything else is kind of like attached to it, right? You can take away its hands, and then its hands can't smash you anymore. So it can't do damage, which is really silly. When it turns into a platform, sometimes if you get it right on time, you can like ascend through it, or you can recall a box and fly back up to it. It turns into a big cube and moves around like a freaking Mario enemy. I don't know. You can grab it with Ultra Hand and like pull the block out. There's just like so many ways you can approach this overworld boss, and I think it is so much fun. And I like will go out of my way to battle them, because I love doing this. They're so fun. So personally, my favorite of the overworld bosses in Tears of the Kingdom. But what are your thoughts? Don't hurt my feelings.
Do different ones like take on different kind of forms too, like attacking forms?
Yeah,
Right.
there's. I think there are 3 levels of flux constructs,
There are
and
3
like
different.
the
Yes.
2 and 3 do take some forms that 1 doesn't. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
but mostly like it
Gotcha.
does a lot of the same attacks, but like faster. And then I think the higher level ones, like that block that has the health, will like teleport to different spots on the flux construct,
Yes.
which makes it harder.
I like that. Yeah.
And then the
No, yeah,
cores, you know by the core that you get afterwards. Yeah.
I'm with you, Nico. I think I would probably put this in S. It was like just very fun. Like I always kind of like, well, some you'd have to try different strategies. Like I found when you got to the harder ones, and I'd have to be like, oh, this doesn't work, and I had to do
Mm-hmm.
like a different one
Mhm.
than what I got used to. But it's just like it's very good because it kind of keeps you. I like ones that kind of keep you moving, keeps you on your toes. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to dodge, then you got to like pull out your I would try to pull away ultra hand away a piece of him, and I'd try to do it really quick, and sometimes I'd get the
Yeah.
wrong block, and
And like that's
I'm
still good because it'll
pulling.
slow him down or make up like an extra space for you to be
Yeah,
able to get to the right
Yeah.
one. Like his
it was
little
always
Rubik's
fun to
Cube
see.
form.
Like, yeah, it was satisfying when I would do it, even if I got the wrong one. It felt
Yeah.
like I'm gonna pull you apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would put it in S too. Like I thought this was a really fun boss.
What are y'all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
even
thought
if
these
you
guys or just a fun like playground for exploring
Oh yeah.
your abilities and your zonai devices, and just very very flexible.
Flux.
Flexible.
Yeah, flexible.
Flexible.
What a cool guy! Who knew just that a guy made of a bunch of cubes could be so cool, creative. I don't know.
The cube
This
guy.
is just
Yeah.
Minecraft the
cube
boss.
guy.
Yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Steve
should
the
make
mini
one
boss.
in our Minecraft world.
Oh yeah.
We could
have a little Flux
craft some.
guy.
Aw. So
Yeah,
you're
the
saying
flux
S,
S?
yeah.
the flux constructs are definitely just like designed to use your abilities, which is sick. Because like you could be in a fight with one of them and use ultra hand, recall, and ascend like all in the same fight, and
Yes.
probably fuse. Because like who doesn't fuse stuff to their arrows
Oh yeah.
all the time? But I always would like I would try and my method was always like find that one cube and just try and like pull it away as quick as I can and smack the crap out of it. But these guys are wicked fun.
Oh, also
So I'd be cool with
sometimes
that.
there's a chest goddess glued to him,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
always really fun. and
But you can
sometimes
lose
that
if it falls off the thing.
sometimes that chest goes flying.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them that
amazing.
has a Sage's Will in it. I lost it really early on. I tried to fight that one, and then like the chest flew off, and I was like, screw it, I'm still gonna kill it, and I did. And I had lost the chest, and I was like, whatever. It was probably just like a diamond or something. And I remember
Oof.
as I was going back, I was like, I'm missing one Sage's Will, and I've killed all the Flux, I've done all this, I don't know what I did. And I went to this guy, and I was like, I remember what happened. That chest went
Wow.
flying, so I never got it. But yeah, these guys are just what the Flux. They're great.
Get him up there.
What the flux?
I love them. And
They're
honestly,
very fun.
the like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like it's so silly and
Good.
they're just
the music is so good.
good vibes all around.
I wanna do the Lynel.
Lynel, actually.
Lynel.
Name's
Because
Lynel.
it was so awesome when these came back in Breath of the Wild. And of all of the repeat enemies, I'm just still glad. Yeah, Corey, get them on screen here.
I've got mine
The
somewhere.
cat.
They don't look like these Lynels, but like it would be cool to also have
2 of them.
Lynels that kind of look like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just I'm not sick of them. I love them. There's
They're
the
so
different
fun.
there's different types too.
We got
So you
armored
never-
Lynels now.
Armored Lynels,
Which are
yeah.
freaking terrifying.
For me, it's what is there to
Bloom
say?
Lynels, probably.
Like I'm thinking A because it's like they're the armored is different, but overall it's kind of the same fights, I would say.
Sure.
But it's just a really strong boss, like really challenging. And then when you get powered up later in the game, it's really fun to like once you feel confident and you can like pretty easily dispatch of them. It's still, I mean, they're still kind of tricky, still kind of fun. So I don't know. I don't really have much to say about them that I haven't said a million times over about them in Breath of the Wild, and that they're just an awesome, iconic Zelda enemy. And it's great we're getting them now in a bunch of games, including, right?
Echoes. And the Echoes design actually looks a lot like these guys.
Yeah, it's the same.
Less like the old ones and more like these ones. Which is so funny because they're like chibi versions.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
They look perfect. I
Very
think.
cute.
It's a great fusion.
Very threatening, though.
I'm excited. They're gonna be terrifying, yeah, but they're cute.
But I'm thinking A because some of these new ones we talked about just excite me more to see in this game. But I'm always A for what a great boss. I'm always happy to see a Lynel.
Ah, jeez.
I had a really great moment playing Tears, or I think it was like a Gloom one. I was climbing up like a cliff, and I got like almost over the cliff, but just as I was able to see over the top, there's just this Lynel standing there, and I stopped
Waiting.
and I was like, what do I do? I just climbed all the way up here, and if I climb any further, it's gonna kill me immediately. And I was trying to like move, but it could hear me moving once I got to the top, so I just had to like wait there.
Oh man!
So that was a really exciting, memorable Lynel moment for me.
I remember, I was playing through Tears of the Kingdom, and I thought, I haven't seen a Lynel yet, but I know they're in this game. And I remember thinking, like, I'm scared. I've been playing for hours, and I have not. Is there like a white mane Lynel just like waiting for me somewhere? Like, I'm terrified, only to find out that they've hidden away into the depths and they're terrifying. But there's freaking coliseums where you have to fight like 5 of them.
Yeah, that's so cool.
They do a great job of making them like. I mean, in Breath of the Wild, they're kind of like all over the place, and they're like the lords of their area, and they're protective, and they're still that, but in a more restrictive setting, and so they kind of made them scarier.
Good point.
There's still ones on the surface.
There's not as many in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, no, not as
but
many.
These guys are mostly in the depths. Which
they
is
have much
terrifying.
more. They have all these added ones, give it kind of more variety.
Yeah.
So I guess you don't need to.
But I would agree with you, Goo. I would say, geez, what a great boss, because I mean they did add to it for Tears of the Kingdom. It's still so exciting that we got Lynels, you know. I don't think it's a sick, nasty boss, but it is like, yeah, Lynels, cool.
I would say S, because I was just looking at this list in general as kind of like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild anyways. I did not get sick of them at all in Tears of the Kingdom. I was just as excited every time I came upon a Lynel in Tears of the Kingdom. In fact, in Tears of the Kingdom, I remember I had a similar experience where like I was definitely a few hours into the game. I had played a good amount, and I was like, I haven't seen a Lynel in a while. And the first Lynel that I saw was on the surface, and it wasn't a red Lynel, it was like a blue Lynel, which is like the second one up. And I remember seeing it and getting super excited and being like, heck yeah, I get to test my mettle, because I feel like in Breath of the Wild, after you've played for a long time, I know how to handle these guys. I can just walk up and see what's up. I saved beforehand just in case, but I just jumped in there and I was like, hey guy, I'm here, let's go. And I got rocked, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what it's like fighting a Lynel. I forgot. Yeah. And I just got excited to fight Lynels every time. Lynels are, I would say, out of all of these on my list, they're in my top 2. I think Lynels are among the. I think they're like the perfect. I think there's a counterpart that is also a perfect overworld boss, but I think they're among the most perfect overworld bosses in my opinion. So I would put S, just because they're so. Every fight with them can go a variety of different ways. You are never safe at any distance with them because you can be you could be like fully far away and they do the little raining arrows on you thing and just destroy
Such
you.
BS. I hate it.
You get in a Lynel's domain and it's
That's true.
you can't. There's nothing you can do.
So you're saying S?
I would say S. But
Did you say?
I was leaning towards A. I probably would have said S for Breath of the Wild. But
I don't feel good like fighting Corey on this, but we did kind of.
you got you're.
you know,
I was thinking more like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but you guys are
Right.
thinking just Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm
so
thinking Tears, yeah.
if you think A, then the three of you say A. Let's do A.
I
'Cause,
say
geez,
it
what a great
roars
boss
its
it
way
is.
up. I say
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it. I put it there above the. I almost said party Talis. We'll go with that. The party Talis.
Oh!
I mean, that's a party.
Party Talis,
It's a,
that's
it's
so
a battle
sick.
party.
I like the idea of all the Bokoblins doing like a conga line. Hey,
Yeah.
dun, 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 hey.
The
But yeah,
Lynel,
very cool.
it's kind of replaced in this game, I think, in prestige by our
Yeah,
final
I would
boss,
agree. I
the
would
Gleeok.
agree. The Gleeok, dude.
Gleeok.
Which I was so intimidated by these for like hours and hours of the game. Like people would tell me where they are. Like that's what's cool about them is like it was similar to like that Lynel up on the mountain or in Breath of the Wild, or like you have quests where people talk about these enemies, but I feel like I would hear about like, oh, there's a Gleeok over there, and you could see it from so far, it's so big.
Yeah.
And I'd be zooming in, and I'd be like, I'm not even going over there. I'm just not gonna do it. And then once you start doing it, and they're all in these very cool spots that create these like epic battles,
So epic.
Oh
the
yeah.
different locations, like, and then they're different. The different, I think the different elemental things like actually make for the battles being much different. Like I
Big
found
time.
myself,
Yep.
like, oh, this one you can kind of take advantage of if it's making fire. You can get a gust going or whatever. Like they all had like different sort of things that played off of that. So yeah, this is S tier for me, but everyone else can throw in their 2 cents.
Yeah. Gleeok is the prime peak overworld boss in all of Zelda. Best overworld boss in all of Zelda ever, in my opinion. And I think these are the perfect complement to the Lynel, because the Lynel's like the perfect land overworld boss, and these are like the perfect air overworld boss. Because the Lynel are like, all right, this whole field, it's mine. But these, like you said, Goo, the Gleeoks love to perch in sick locations, like smack dab in the middle of the Bridge of Hylia,
Yeah.
or like perched up on Fort Hateno, or like over in the up in the Hebra tundra and stuff.
Oh, that one I spent so long on that one. Oh my gosh,
that was my first one. That was
that's the first one I killed. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're so cool, unbelievably cool. I can't believe they weren't in Breath of the Wild. Like they're just so.
I feel like
amazing,
they probably tried to make them and couldn't. Because I mean,
you can't really,
they wanted to.
I mean, it's a lot harder to just get yourself up in the air in that game in comparison to Tears of the Kingdom too.
Yeah.
But like, my God, they're just, when you come upon, they are just a commanding presence. I think almost every trailer we saw, or once we started getting promotional material that had Gleeoks, that's like all that stole the screen for me. I was like, oh my, look at that giant scary dragon, that huge 3-headed dragon. And a comeback of an OG boss too, like incredible.
They
Absolutely
almost
incredible.
They have to keep doing this every game now. They have to like bring back some iconic old boss and like give him the
Just waiting
shine.
for
I want the
Aquamentus.
Helmasaur.
This is
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
The
Helmasaurs are
Demis.
cool.
Well, that's not that one.
But like I don't there's something about Gleeok. There's just being on it.
It is iconic. It's
The
so
Legend
iconic.
of Zelda is like high fantasy and it bleeds into some other stuff, but like what is more high fantasy than fighting a big fire breathing 3-headed dragon?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
it's
man.
so cool. And the King Gleeok down in the depths with the different elemental head for each one, like
So that was
So
the
sick.
first
coolest
king.
thing.
That was the first King Gleeok I found. But then when I was doing my
One in the sky too,
yeah,
right?
I was doing the hunting for
Yeah.
the sage emblems or whatever, sage's will. And when I was like, "Oh, cool, there's one up on this island. I'll go get it." No, that one was way more terrifying to me because I kept falling off the island trying to avoid these attacks. But like
Mm.
the third stage of like sort of like the final third of its health bar, it like goes they always go
Goes
super
way
high,
up.
right? And then the
Mhm.
fire ones drop down those fireballs. The lightning ones, they're shocking and everything. And then the ice ones have the giant like stalactite things that like smash down those big
Love that.
icicles. Like it's so cool, and it's just like you said, it's epic. It feels like I'm part of like a movie scene. Like I hardly even feel like I'm playing the game. I'm like watching it happen, and my fingers are just doing stuff, and I'm like whoa. Like it made me feel like a little kid. Like it's truly so cool. I don't know. I love the Gleeok. Good rewards too.
Yeah, this was definitely the overworld boss I was most looking forward to encountering after we saw the one in the trailer, and that Sky King Gleeok is the first one that I found. I don't think I've defeated the King Gleeok yet, actually. Yeah, I was just exploring. I was like, I gotta get to that island. It's all the way over there. I gotta see what's on it. And got there, and I was like, oh geez, oh man, no, thank you.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah, I think it was really important that they have an overworld boss that's more like aerial focused. Um, and there's multiple things you can do here to get on its level, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just to make use of your devices. And this is where I made, I think, maybe the most use of the eyeballs
Oh yeah.
to knock out its
Ooh,
heads.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all of these enemies, I just slapped a Keese eyeball onto my arrow.
You get a
just-
Lynel bow with a Keese eyeball, you're set for
Yeah,
the Gleeok.
game over.
Game
Mhm.
over,
And
Gleeok.
I love when they fall down.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
see all that damage.
Their
Yeah.
heads, they're like the
So
neck is
good.
like fluttering. It's just like,
Oh, that's so cool.
I love it.
I love the Coliseum one.
Yes.
During the
This guy
marathon,
should be a staple.
we got like a little quest to we had to go into that cave that's like behind it, and we were trying to do that without defeating it. And it's just, this guy is so like threatening, and we're like stealthing around, and he's just not having it. He's figuring us out, and we're like
You
trying to
dare
hide
disturb my lair.
behind like the pillars and get the sword
must
to go in
die.
the right spot. And it was so challenging, but it was a fun time.
Welcome. You must die. Yeah.
You must die.
Yeah, S tier.
Yeah,
S
S tier.
tier.
I would
S tier.
say he's gonna fly up.
Sick nasty boss.
All the way.
So look what we've created. I feel like it's pretty good.
Pretty slick.
I'm sorry. I feel like I feel the bad about.
I love that it's
the
like Breath
Molduga.
of the Wild, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, there's one thing I have two qualms with this list, which we are the ones that you are expecting. But I'm not going to argue for Lionel and S because it's definitely not the same that's more of a Breath of the Wild shock thing. I feel like Molduga does not belong with those two in C.
Oh, totally.
I don't think it's chill. I think it's very scary, and it's much more involved than either of those two. So I would propose putting it in B
Okay.
if you would be so kind.
Corey has put
I
the
can accept
Molduga
that.
under review.
Uh,
McKenna accepts.
I will read his review momentarily.
What does the jury say?
We're checking the documents.
I think the jury approves.
There's legal precedent for this. Yes.
Legal precedent.
Put it in B. Because it
Who's bad
truly
boy?
is. In a way, all of these are big bad boys.
Yeah, they are.
I would even
all
say they're all big bad boys.
big bad boys.
In a way.
The big bad boys of Breath of the Wild and mostly Tears of the Kingdom.
Mostly Tears of the Kingdom.
All right, cool. Well, I love this list. I think good job, everyone.
Yeah.
We've got more. You know, we're in Echoes of the Wisdom.
Hey, that's
Echoes of the
fair.
Wisdom.
That's totally fine. That's what the past two games were.
Echoes of the Kingdom.
This is coming after me saying Echoes of Wind. I think I said once.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wind.
You'll get it
I
right
swear to God,
someday.
I can't remember. I think my brain
This
is fried. I can't remember what any game is called anymore. Like, I kept calling this game Breath of the Wild for like a year, even though because I'm just like, we're playing a Breath of the Wild game here. We're in the Breath of the Wild series. My brain is with Zelda is I'm in another planet, but
This is Breath of the Kingdom, Tears of the Zelda.
we have more
Wild.
tiers we plan on doing,
Mhm.
and we're probably gonna do some. There's gonna be plenty of stuff in Echoes, I'm sure, to do tiers of.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I'm pretty stoked about that. So stay tuned to the channel. Check out all the stuff below. And before I say anything else embarrassing, goodbye.